What's up, people? Titans Tube is back with another video yet again. My name is Justin, and this is my co-host Jake. Jake, how's it going?
How you doing? Great, man. How about you? Are you staying warm down there? What's the weather like in Nashville in late January?
That's a good question. It could have been different than the last time I stepped outside, which was 5 minutes ago. But it's been cold, but then it's starting to warm up a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been cold and rainy. It's been the worst. It's been just the worst. We could be seeing some snow this weekend on the TV screen, Jake, because in the winter season, it is playoff time, and we've got to pick these two conference championship games here. A year ago at this time, the Tennessee Titans were one of the Final Four teams. It was so sweet, Jake. It was such a great experience.
Yeah.
But screw the Ravens. Jake, last week we picked the divisional round games, and let us know how we did. We did it a little different because we decided to pick against the spread, and I'm glad that we've just been picking straight up this whole time, Jake, because I am terrible when it comes to picking against the spread.
Yeah.
I did very bad. Very bad. So what's the count now?
As the records indicate from last week, you went into the divisional round games with a 1-game lead over me, Justin. And that has evaporated because, unfortunately, you went 1-3 last week, while I went 3-1 against the spread. I think we both dropped the Baltimore game. We both picked Baltimore to cover the spread against Buffalo. That did not happen. I went 3-1 last week. You went 1-3, and now Jake is back on the top of the leaderboard, +1. How the tides turn in these NFL videos, man.
It turned way too quickly at the end of the season. You just went on a run and have ascended to the lead. So there's literally 3 more games left for us all to pick. Or for us both to pick. So we'll see if we can get a winner. And if we tie, then I guess it's a duel to the death.
We'll see how it goes.
At that point.
I'll drive down. We'll meet perfectly in the middle of Nashville and Dayton, Ohio, and we'll have a big arm wrestle and we'll live stream it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, arm wrestling. That's what the people want to see.
Yep.
So let's get into these Final Four contenders here, Jake. We got the first game coming up here on Sunday. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. This is the first NFC Championship game that Rodgers has hosted at Lambeau Field. I was kind of surprised to learn that he hasn't played. Seems like he's in the Conference Championship frequent enough. I can't believe this is the first time it's going to be happening at home for him. And another quarterback on the other side, Jake, who is very accustomed to playing in these games. Not the NFC Championship, though. It's just only Tom Brady's first NFC Championship appearance. I mean, what a scrub. I mean, good grief. It only took him to 43 years to make it here.
Yeah, this late in his career, no excuse to not make the NFC Championship game, Tom Brady. I mean, it's about time.
Man, but dude, did he earn it though? Like going into New Orleans, and dude, I hate seeing Drew Brees go out like that. He was throwing picks all over the place there for the Saints, but an impressive win going in there into the Superdome, taking down the Saints. Packers quieting the Rams down after their upset over Seattle in the wild card round. So I don't know, man. We've both been high on Green Bay. We both pretty much agree that they're the best team in the NFC, but I mean, if anybody can take them down, it can be Tom Brady and this Buccaneers team. But they did meet in the regular season, and it was a thrashing of all thrashings. Green Bay destroyed them, right?
No, Tampa Bay
destroyed
absolute hell on Green Bay. They met in week 6. Tampa Bay ended up winning the game 38-10, but Green Bay had a 10-0 lead. Aaron Rodgers does his, 1-2 thrust, and Tom Brady turns around and puts 38 on Aaron Rodgers and company, dealing them a season low in points. This Packers offense is also one of tops in the league. We talked about the Titans all year, with their offensive scoring and output, but look at our old friend, Matt LaFleur, over at Green Bay. So, Tampa Bay really put a whooping on Green Bay in week 6. But you go into this game, Green Bay's favored by 3.5, Justin. I'll kick this first one to you first, and then I'll take first pick on the next one.
Yeah. Oof. Man, I still don't know what I'm going to get with Tampa Bay almost. I mean, they look like they could be world beaters on any given week. I assumed that it was Green Bay that had won that blowout, but I was wrong. I think they had blown out like New Orleans or Tampa Bay got blown out by New Orleans. I don't know. All those top tier teams like blew each other out at one point in the season. It's hard to keep up. But gosh, it's hard. Yeah, I'm a little biased. I really want to see Green Bay win this game. I think they do win, and I do think they cover the spread. It's going to be – I still think it's going to be a close game. I mean, 3.5 points is a pretty close margin there. But I like Green Bay. I like how their offense is playing, obviously. Did you see what they did to the top Rams defense, or the Rams defense tops in the league, dropping 32 points on them? I mean, it almost seemed like low, too, the way that they were moving the ball against them. Tampa Bay's defense is kind of a step down. I do think they have the number one rush defense in the league, and they are going to need that against Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, and then A.J. Dillon, big breakout back who had a breakout game against the Titans in Week 16. So they got a good crop of running backs, especially Aaron Jones, man. He's a very key element to what they can do on offense, and they keep that offense balanced very well with him, with his receiving ability on top of his rushing. So it's going to be a big game for them to get that run game going, keep the balanced offense. But I think they do enough. But still, Tom Brady, I mean, no lead is safe. He has come back many times in his career, especially in a particular Super Bowl a few years ago. So you can't let the foot off the gas against Tampa Bay. And I think Aaron Rodgers knows that. I think they're going to come ready to play. I think it's going to be close, competitive, but I think the Packers get the win and they cover the spread. Sure. Give me Green Bay. What about you, Jake?
I like it. I'm gonna honestly, give my picks and opinions. So I'm also gonna take Green Bay, minus 3.5 in this one. You know what's at stake for us Titans fans in this game, Justin? I'm curious. Do you know what's at stake?
There are things at stake for us Titans fans.
Yes, there is, and I'll tell you exactly what it is.
I don't know.
It's the Titans could have ended Tom Brady's career in last year's playoffs. They put an end to the Patriots dynasty, and what they, it looked like they had put an end to Tom Brady's rule over the NFL. If the Packers let Tom Brady into another Super Bowl in a year after this Titans win in Foxborough, the Titans didn't shut down Tom Brady anymore. They just ended the Patriots dynasty. Tom Brady lived on post-Titans reckoning. So that is what is at stake, Justin. The legacy of that Titans win in Foxborough is on the line, and I don't think the Packers, let it up. I really like Green Bay in this game. I love what you said about Green Bay's stable of running backs and how they keep this offense balanced. I mean, this is as good of a Packers team as we've seen under the helm of Aaron Rodgers. Talk about somebody who's good late into his career now. He's on fire, MVP season. Definite. Give me the Packers in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting point. It does kind of – I think it already does kind of soften the blow a little bit for the Titans ending the Tom Brady era legacy. Yes, we defeated him in his last game with New England, but a year later he's again in the conference championship game. He still has put together a fantastic season, even if he does lose against Green Bay. But, if he goes back to the Super Bowl and wins another one, that would completely just erase the Titans did have that one win in the wild card round. What does it matter? It wasn't still won it all.
It wasn't the period at the end of the sentence. It wasn't quite it for Tom Brady.
It's going to be a good game, man. We'll see. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers can make it back to only his second Super Bowl. I can't believe he's only made it to one. It's very hard to win. So again, tops to Tom Brady for going there 6 or 9 times or whatever and winning 6 times. That's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
He's about to go to his 10th. That's insane. That's insane. Enough. I'm not even a Tom Brady fan, and we're sitting here gushing about Tom. Come on, give me Green Bay in this game. Let's pick the next one.
Enough Tom Brady. Okay. Another team that is not accustomed to seeing themselves in this championship game, the Buffalo Bills have made it back since 1994, 5, 3.
Sounds about right.
I don't know. It's been a long time. Yeah. Going on the road, taking on a Kansas City Chiefs team. I believe this is 3 years in a row for the Chiefs to make it to at least the conference championship game. Chiefs are opening as a 3-point favorite, but we're going to bump that up half a point to 3.5 so we don't end in a push. We do want to get a winner for this pick here. What's the latest on Patrick Mahomes, man? That's kind of what everyone's probably looking at. Is he going to go or not? Because if he doesn't, there's no way Chad Henne is going to beat this Buffalo Bills team. So
yeah.
What have you heard? Is he practicing?
Today, just a couple of hours before recording this video, he cleared concussion protocol. What a miracle healer that Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying anything shady's going on with Patrick Mahomes' concussion protocol, but I think every NFL fan is has one eyebrow up at that situation. Even Colin Cowherd said we should postpone the game until Mahomes is ready to go. It's nuts. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes will be playing this game. It will be Chiefs Bills full strength. Yeah, as you mentioned, Chiefs 3.5-point favorites. I'm going to take first pick on this one, and I'm going to take the favorites at home, Kansas City. It's kind of don't bet against Tom Brady. The old adage, don't bet against Peyton Manning. All these great quarterbacks. Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. And last week we both had the Browns. We both won that one. The Chiefs were 10.5-point favorites. They didn't have any business giving Cleveland 10.5 points in that game. But when it comes to a spread that's more so 3.5, a lower number, I definitely think the Chiefs got this. They're an offensive machine. Patrick Mahomes is going to be okay. I'm a little worried about his foot. More of his turf toe has been kind of an issue, underlying issue. Obviously, the concussion was the big news of this week. But, Patrick Mahomes' turf toe could come into play. I think the Bills are a little bit overconfident going into this one. Going into Arrowhead, they've hosted the conference championship 3 straight years in a row. Why should this year be any different? They almost beat New England in that one. It went into overtime. And then obviously they beat the Titans last year. And then now the Chiefs are a dynasty. They're a current dynasty, and we're going to watch it in the making. Patrick Mahomes is fast tracking to be the GOAT. A lot of people are talking about how great Mahomes could be. If he stays healthy. He's still really, really young in this league, accomplishing a lot of great things. So give me Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs -3.5. Justin, what do you got, man?
Man, it's tough, man. We were looking at last week, Buffalo beating the Ravens 17-3, and one of those was a defensive touchdown. So this was an ugly, bad 10-3 score.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that Bills defense very much impressed me. I thought, the Titans defense did a great job only holding the Ravens offense to 20 points, but the Bills hold them to 3. Man, obviously they're the rushing team. They got Lamar Jackson on the ground, J.K. Dobbins, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, they're going to face a polar opposite challenge here with the air assault of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. Andy Reid, calling plays however he feels like it. You got Chad Henne on a 4th and 1. Let's go shotgun and pass the ball when we're only up by 5 points. Gutsy play caller, that Andy Reid. Man, I want to pick the Chiefs too. I'm gonna go Buffalo, Jake. I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm feeling the Bills Mafia magic right now.
Okay.
Man, Josh Allen. I think that offense will have a bit of a bounce back game. I don't know. Cleveland's defense was okay, but Kansas City's defense is, they actually did a really good job against Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Cleveland's offense. That kind of surprised me. I thought Cleveland would put up more than 17 points, but. I don't know, man. There's something about the Bills team. There's something about that magical run. I mean, we saw the Titans have a magical run last year, and it ended in Arrowhead. But so far, I think last year's Kansas City team is still better and is more impressive than this year's Kansas City team for whatever reason. That team last year went 12-4. This one went 14-2. But I guess it's just how they're winning games. I guess they seem a little bit closer. Chiefs only putting up 22 points. Is that going to be enough? In this game and then the Super Bowl if they get past the Bills? I don't know. But there's something a little bit odd about the Chiefs and how they just don't quite look like that overwhelmingly dominant team, even though they're still winning games. At the end of the day, they're still getting the job done. But, yeah, is this a case of the Bills just, being there? They're reaching these milestones finally again, and they're just kind of happy to be there, happy to be participating in the conference championship, how it almost felt like for the Titans last year. I don't know. I almost think that they're here to win it. I think they're locked in. I think, they're going to come out and compete and surprise some people. So why not? Even if they don't win, I'll still take the Bills in the 3.5-point spread. Could be a 3-point game, and I'll take that win if that does happen. So sure, give me the Bills with the points there.
Perfect.
So I guess I got a Green Bay Buffalo Super Bowl pick
interesting.
That would be interesting.
Cold weather, and they're both meeting in Tampa. Let's have it up in the snow, man. Let's have some wintertime fun.
Let's go
for the Super Bowl.
Weather could be a factor in either of these games. Both Green Bay and Kansas City have they're cold weather climates. There potentially could be snow, I think, at least for Green Bay. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. I hope we get snow. I love snow games. Except for the one the Titans played in a few weeks ago.
As Titans fans, we don't have a great track record of snow games. Justin, speaking of our Titans, we're going to kind of do a little add-on to the end of these AFC, NFC championship picks. Just a little Titans sweeping up, catching up news. Not a lot going on, obviously.
Usually we talk about the Titans game at the end of these picks videos. We saved that one for last. But now they're not in the NFL playoffs anymore. So we're still going to talk about the Titans and what else has been happening with the team. Jake, start us off. What's been going on here?
Obviously, news headline 1A, Arthur Smith no longer the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. I know we're a little late on the beat on this one, but he took the head coaching job in Atlanta. Justin, do you think this Titans offense with its weaponry and how they flow and kind of play together, do you think the Titans offense skips a beat without Arthur Smith next year? We'll kind of go rapid fire here, and I might get your points on this.
It's interesting. I think we clearly have talented players. It wasn't all Arthur Smith. I mean, we got a lot of talent and a lot of pieces on this offense to work with. So I think another guy coming in can do a good job. Is the new OC gonna bring in a completely brand new scheme, a whole new playbook, a whole new philosophy? Maybe that would cause us to pause and have a little bit of maybe slow regression coming out early in 2021. Or is he going to implement a lot of the same stuff Arthur Smith had here and continue with the continuity stuff that the players are familiar with? So we'll see. I still like the talents we have. We're probably not going to have Corey Davis next year. We'll see about Jonnu Smith. We'll probably re-sign him. But we're going to need to draft some receivers. I don't know about Adam Humphries going forward. I mean, that concussion was bad. That kept him out for the rest of the season. I thought we would – I mean, that's a serious concussion. He was out for like 7 or 8 weeks, it felt like. So we'll see. I'm glad Arthur Smith, good for him. I'm happy that he landed a head coaching job, especially with the Atlanta Falcons, away from the AFC South and away from the AFC entirely. So, looking at the success he had here, it's hard to see the offense taking too big of a regression, just because I think we just have enough talent to where we're not going to, we might not be a top 3 scoring offense again, but I think they're still going to be good enough to win games, given that the defense can make a vast improvement. So I'm not too worried about the state of the offense personally, but I don't know. That's just my take. I don't know. What do you think?
I got you. Yeah, it's, if anything, Arthur Smith late in the year, we saw some questionable and repetitive calls in his offense. It seemed like, the Titans offense was susceptible to explode and, go off for 30, 40 points. It seemed like, every 2 out of 3 games or so. But in that, that third game that they would drop, or that fourth game that they would end up losing, you saw they almost looked lost. A team came out, played to their strong suits, and Arthur Smith ran it into a brick wall, until it maybe worked. But it was, too little, too late at that point. I would like to see somebody come in and kind of open it up. I think Tannehill's a good quarterback. Obviously Derrick Henry is going to get his touches, but let's see some more shots. As successful as the A.J. Brown 10-yard, slant route is, I've seen it. I want to see something kind of incredible, send Khalif on a deep route, and obviously the weapons won't be exactly the same as they were this year, but I would just like to see some more creativity. And, Jonnu Smith, speaking of, was a disappearing act in this offense. Jonnu Smith is too good of an athlete, too good of a talent to just not get any touches in several games down the stretch. Especially, he was a dud in the playoff game. Yeah. So, who's to say, man? But a shout out Arthur Smith for getting a job. You got to commend him for that.
It is weird, how as good as the offense was, we still had like some key pieces that would just completely disappear in games. Corey Davis was like 20 yards away from a 1,000-yard season while missing 2 games entirely, and then still having like 3 games where you didn't even have a catch, including that playoff game. And same thing happen in touchdown receptions on the season. And there would be several games where we'd have 0 or 1 catch maybe at most. So it would be nice to see somebody come in and bring more consistency to all the pieces that we have. And I know when you're giving Henry the ball 30 times a game, it's hard to do that and also throw the ball as much as you want to A.J. Brown. But still, especially on a day like against the Ravens wildcard game when the offense is struggling and you still don't see plays drawn up for Corey Davis or Jonnu Smith, a couple of our most key pieces on offense. So, I would like to see a new guy come in and kind of implement more consistency and get away from that disappearing act that we had every now and then in games or even halves. We're putting up duds against Pittsburgh and Cleveland in the first half of those games. And then in the second half against the Ravens, we were terrible. What's up? We were terrible against the AFC North. We lost to the Bengals, too. Thank goodness we're not in the AFC North, dude.
That was
just realized that.
Tough. Yeah, 1-4 in the AFC North. Now, I do, and obviously Titans fans are kind of neither here nor there. We kind of talked about maybe getting the feeling of being stabbed in the back by Arthur Smith, who's interviewing with Jacksonville 4 hours after leaving the stadium after the wild card loss. You know, it's kind of, he left on a sour note. But you know, Titans fans are kind of mad at Mike Vrabel right now for kind of slow playing this offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator search. Obviously, that coaching carousel in the NFL is turning, lots of head coach hires, lots of, you know, staffing hires and things. But I saw a tweet from Mike Herndon, who, you know, we love here. We always bring up his kind of Twitter briefings, if you will. But he said, he said in a nutshell, if fans are this upset about an 11-5 season and, you know, in the kind of direction this team is heading, you just went 11-5, hosted a playoff game and won the AFC South. That says something for the direction of this franchise moving forward because, you know, you look back to 5 years ago, this team was winning 2-3 games a season. And now we're kind of after a head coach in a way, after winning a division title. It kind of speaks to the way this team is headed, and it gives you kind of an optimistic feeling. I don't know. I just had that kind of swelling up inside of me. I've seen a lot of Titans fans who are sour about this season. I'm a little sour about how the season ended, especially after the run last year and how much fun that was. It kind of sours it, but all in all, explosive offense. Just a couple of things to clean up as Mike Vrabel moves forward with an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Enough doom and gloom, though, Justin. Kind of a happy,
I agree.
A happier piece of Titans news in the past couple of weeks was A.J. Brown. Surgery on both knees, apparently. Went live after his cleanup surgery, said he was supposed to be done for the year on week 2. I think that was against Jacksonville. Supposed to be done week 2. Plays obviously a Pro Bowl level year. He's all loopy coming out of surgery, went live on Instagram talking about, I did it, I'm in the Pro Bowl, played Pro Bowl level on such an injury. And, obviously Mike Vrabel's probably gonna give him an earful about doing that kind of thing. And he eventually apologized. He obviously, the drugs wore off a little bit. He apologized on Twitter, but AJ, you got nothing to apologize for, man. That was one absolutely hilarious, especially with Big Jeff Simmons commenting in the live video, give me some of what this guy's on. And then Derrick Henry says, can we get a nurse in here, please? Somebody, you love to kind of see that camaraderie with the team. Man, just a good tidings thing. But we will kind of compliment Sandwich and kind of go back to something that raises eyebrows, is that Dean Pease has come out of retirement to not coach for the Tennessee Titans. He took a job with Arthur Smith.
Are we getting trolled
in Atlanta? We're getting kind of trolled, Justin. I don't know. I'm going to kick it to you. Do you think does that give you less faith in Mike Vrabel? Because it seems like some fans are pressing panic button. Does that give you less faith? Oh, Dean Pease doesn't want to come work for Vrabel anymore. He's kind of he wants a yes man kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of hot takes and probably a lot of inaccurate hot takes. Like, oh, what does this say about Mike Vrabel? Do coaches just not really want to coach with him? Is he hard to work with? Or, I mean, he seems to, be kind of a player's coach, easygoing, but he also has that ruling with an iron fist kind of aura about him, I suppose. It is odd. It is odd because you think with how successful the Titans defense was and the successful run that we had 2 years ago, he would want to come back for a return. It seemed like he had a great rapport with all the players. The defensive players seemed to love him, love playing for him. I wonder what it was about Atlanta that made him so much more made it more appealing to go there.
It is worth noting, Justin, just real quick, that Dean Pease was offered, only a kind of assistant role. He wasn't going. Vrabel didn't want him back as the defensive coordinator. Vrabel did, in fact, reach out to Dean Pease about coming out of retirement, but offered him kind of a more because you don't want a 1-year patch job as your defensive coordinator. How many times is Dean Pease going to come out of retirement and go back into retirement? You'd like to see a more long-term solution. Defensive coordinator, I can see that, but obviously, he apparently likes Arthur Smith and kind of wants to set, the young guy up right in Atlanta for his first season, So it'll be interesting to see moving forward. That Vrabel coaching tree has a big branch in Atlanta right now. So we'll see how they do, man.
I know. Dude, yeah, it's weird going back to that Mike Herndon tweet 11-5. And yeah, fans can be upset if they won after a one-and-done playoff season, but the franchise is in a great place right now. Look at all the coaches that are being hired off from us to be head coaches elsewhere. With Matt LaFleur, now Arthur Smith, Dean Pease being brought back, and I know he had a great resume before coming to be the Titans defensive coordinator. But yeah, I mean the franchise is in a good place. I mean we are in an enviable position. I mean, yeah, you'd like to see some of these coordinator pieces stick. I mean, it's just been a carousel. Like I don't know how many NFL teams can keep a head coach, offensive and defensive coordinator together and have success until they all leave. But it seems like, before Vrabel got here, we were cycling through head coaches and offensive coordinators and also defensive coordinators.
Yeah.
And we're still going through that even this year. We don't have any either this year. So I don't know. Good luck in Atlanta. Dean Pease, Arthur Smith. We will miss you guys, but I don't know. Is there anyone on your radar for Mike Vrabel and this Titans team to try to go after? Doug Peterson?
Doug Peterson.
I don't know.
Who else is available? Rumblings of who's the guy from Cleveland, like Hugh Jackson, coming in and being the defensive coordinator.
Oh no!
And it was okay. Yes,
I don't want
reputation was kind of scattered as the 0-16 Cleveland Browns head coach, but that's him as a head coach. Matt Patricia just went back to the New England Patriots, not as a D coordinator role I saw, but kind of more of an assistant.
That's interesting.
So yeah, it was kind of Matt Patricia for me. I think I would kind of like to see that, maybe get him to loosen up a little bit. Matt Patricia kind of ruled with that iron fist, wasn't so much, kind of a player's coach. You kind of want somebody to come in that's kind of light, but you want somebody like Mike Vrabel, It's just a shame that Mike Vrabel's experiment of kind of overseeing the defense didn't go well, because if that went well, you've got that position filled as long as Mike Vrabel's your head coach. But obviously, not how it turned out.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Hopefully, yeah. We'll see who we get. Surely they have a list of names already. I mean, the coaching search, it's got to start now as soon as the season ends. I mean, because they get snatched up real quick.
Yep.
If you're not on the ball.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But that's all the Titans news bulletins I really had. It's kind of a slow rolling. Yeah, there's, practice squad churning over futures contracts, et cetera, et cetera. But here at Titans Tube, we don't dig that deep.
It's a very surface level information and commentating channel here.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of dead periods. There's probably going to be some weeks coming up, especially after the Super Bowl, where we might not have any videos coming out. So I don't know. We might lay low. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, though, or make a video about, you can leave a comment and we'll think about it. We'll decide if we want to make more videos. Fill in the gap in the off season.
Yeah, and speaking of reaching out, we were talking about doing kind of when we do our Super Bowl picks, we'll kind of do a Titans season recap, and we were looking to maybe do like a Q&A session. So if in the comments down below you want to leave a question about the Titans season, a question about whatever, whomever, whichever, leave it in the comments below, and we are going to pick our favorite ones and answer them for that Super Bowl kind of ending season finale recap of the Titans season. It'll be kind of a smorgasbord of things. So yeah, if you have questions about the Titans, questions about, us or whatever, doesn't even matter. Leave them in the comments below, and we'll
about us,
tweet it out as well.
Lives. Yeah.
Get to know us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what everyone wants to see. Just an hour-long video about us talking about our lives. It'd be great.
Oh, and we love Caleb. Obviously, no bad blood with Caleb on this channel, but don't leave the comment, "Where is Caleb?" Because we just did an entire season where
it's time.
No, where is Caleb? Those will not be answered. We love you, Caleb, though. We sometimes we don't even know where Caleb is.
Yeah, I don't even think he knows where he is at some points. Did I tell you? I went to the Detroit Lions home game, and somebody at the game came up to me, and he was like, "Hey, man, are you Caleb?" I was like, "Not only am I not Caleb, but he hasn't been part of the channel for this entire season." But I appreciate it, though. It was funny. It was still flattering. Obviously, it's flattering if you get, being recognized for a little YouTube channel that we do. I just thought it was really funny. He thought I was Caleb, and Caleb's not even. Yeah, he hasn't been part of Titans 2 for a year.
But all is good. So yeah, leave questions,
Caleb.
comments. We will broadcast that on Twitter as well for kind of our Super Bowl picks, recap, season finale, shebang, shabash, and you all are invited.
Yes, all is welcome, young and old, man, woman, and
you got
child.
Anything to take us, Justin? Other than
I'm
like,
just
comment,
rambling,
subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in our Super Bowl shebang shabash. You're all invited.
We should definitely title it that. I like the Super Bowl shebang shabash.
Perfect. There it is.
All right. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the games on Sunday. Yeah. Until next time. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.